Hello, class. Welcome to another week here at Beetle U. I am Professor Malptup, and as you all clearly know by now, it is Christmas time. So I'm going to be sending you some audio about the wonderful holiday known as Christmas and some Beatle-related items. The one chunk of audio you're going to get is all about a very unique gift that Paul McCartney gave to the other Beatles in 1965. Now, by the time Christmas 1965 rolled around, the Beatles had plenty of money and they could pretty much buy whatever they wanted. So for one another, buying a gift seemed sort of pointless to all of them. So Paul specifically wanted to give something to each of them that no one else can give. Now, around this time that they did have a lot of this money, they started spending some of this money. And one of the things that were extremely expensive at the time was recording equipment, and they would buy it for their homes. They would record demos for other songs. They would experiment with it and take plenty of time to make new and unusual noises. Some of these early tape loops that Paul McCartney would create on his brand new recorder would wind up on some of the albums throughout the Beatles' history. Most importantly was on Tomorrow Never Knows. Now, John Lennon demoed a few songs on his home recorder, one of them being In My Life, which is said to be a song written for the other Beatles as a gift, because again, they at this point could now buy pretty much anything that they wanted, so buying a gift was just plain silly to them. What Paul McCartney did was he did a little bit of a radio show. He called it Radio Pauline, which is a play on the name Radio Caroline, which was a pirate radio station that was just off of London shores, so it was technically legal for a little while until they shut it down. The whole thing's called Unforgettable. That's because of the song by Nat King Cole that Paul plays. And in between each song, he introduces them, and he's doing a voice that sounds a little bit like a American accent that Paul McCartney is doing. He plays a song by Peter and Gordon. Peter Asher actually must have been in the room at one point because he says some nice things. He plays the song A Blast from the Past by Elvis Presley. There's a Beach Boys song on it, a Martha and the Vandellas song, and they close it up with Down Home Girl, which is a Rolling Stones song. And then Paul then took this reel-to-reel tape recorder to a record pressing company, and they recorded it, and apparently they made 4 copies of it. And Paul kept one, and he gave one to each of the other Beatles. These actual records haven't survived the years, but these reels did, and you can actually find the whole performance on YouTube. Now, on the other hunk of audio you're going to get is pretty cool as well, because it's Beatle-related, and what is uncool about the Beatles. In November of 1967, the Beatles were recording a Christmas fan club gift. Last week I talked about the 1968 and 1969 fan club releases. In 1967, as they did each year, they put a little bit more effort into it than they had the year before. This year, they actually devoted a complete session to it, and they recorded the song, which was actually produced by George Martin, called Christmas Time Is Here Again. It's a very simple piano, drums, timpani, and guitar song, and they just sing Christmas Time Is Here Again and again and again and again and again. Ringo sings OUT is out, and then they start again. But they still put in quite a bit of effort for something that previously they would stand around a microphone for a few minutes and say Merry Christmas. Victor Spinetti, who appears in A Hard Day's Night and the Help movie, he was around at the time. You could hear him singing. You could hear him tap dancing with Ringo. They sing a little song which would be called Plenty of Jam Jars. They do a little quiz show. They sing about trousers. George Martin says thank you to everyone on behalf of the group. And inside it, you can hear dear old Mal Evans. Since the Get Back release from a few weeks back on Disney Plus, the 9-hour documentary, Mal Evans has become quite the hero in Beatle folklore. You could hear him wishing Merry Christmas to the fans. And with that, I say so long for another splendid week here at Beetle U. Expect some stuff in your email. You have a great week.